Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahushua,
Barakatah Yahushua,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahushua,
Barakatah Yahushua,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Rakah,
Rakah,
Kodash.
Kodash.
A double honor to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity.
All right, we're GMS Mississippi Camp. We're coming with another lesson going into the generational unbelief. All right, because what you have amongst Israel, you have a generation, all right, that's being reserved for salvation, which is the elect, which are considered the righteous, chosen from the predestined from the foundation of the earth. All right, and you have the wicked of our people that are reserved for the wrath, man. And they was always coming in the unbelieving spirit. They was faithless, and they was always coming up against the authority that the Most High was set up. All right, and the prophets. All right, and ultimately Yahweh Shai. So we're gonna get into a parable and get a few precepts, to edify the parable, and Lord willing, brothers and sisters be edified, man. Go ahead, bro.
Come on, bro. Now it's Matthew 21. What again?
33.
All right, Matthew 21 and 33. Here another parable. There was a certain householder which planted a vineyard and hedged it round about.
And that household is the Most High, and that vineyard, all right, is the nation of Israel, because he planted Israel what? A noble vine. You see, because Israel is considered a vineyard.
I got you, bro.
Come.
Isaiah 5 and 1. Now will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved touching his vineyard.
Come.
My well-beloved hath a vineyard in a very fruitful hill.
And that beloved, all right, is going into Israel, man. All right, specifically the elect, man. That beloved generation. Go ahead.
That's right. That fruitful hill is talking about our land.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2, and he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof and planted it with the choicest vine and built a tower in the midst of it.
Come.
And also made a winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes.
Come. And those, all right, those wild grapes, in the New Testament, are what? Those Israelite foreigners, man. And then you have also Israelites that was when they was in their sovereignty, all right, they were going wicked, man. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, verse 3, and now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. Verse 4, what could have been done more to my vineyard?
Because the scriptures say how he hedged it, which there's that protection. All right, those fruitful hills immediately flowing with resources, so let you know that vineyard that Yahweh Shai is speaking of in that parable is the nation of Israel, man.
Yeah.
You
want me to jump to the point, brother?
Come,
keep going.
Get to the point.
All right, verse 7, for the vineyard of the Lord Yahweh of hosts is the house of Israel.
The vineyard, all right, of the Lord is the house of Israel, man. That's that vineyard in this parable, man.
And the men of Judah his pleasant plant, and he looked for judgment, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry.
And that's was known amongst our people, man. All right, our leadership will be wicked, man, and they will oppress the poor, and they will judge for bribery, man, judge for hire, man. So Yahweh Shai is going into a parable of the vineyard, and he's going to show you how these wicked leaders of our people and this generation of our people will always reject authority and leadership, man. Go ahead, bro.
All right. Back in Matthew 21:33, here another parable. There was a certain householder which planted a vineyard and hedged it round about, and digged a winepress in it, and built a tower, and let it out to husbandmen, and went into a far country.
Go ahead.
Verse 34, if I could say, and this is Yahweh Shai going back to the spirit world. Verse 34, and when the time of the fruit drew near, he sent his servants to the husbandmen, and they might receive the first fruit, that they might receive the fruits of it. Verse 35, and the husbandman took his servants and beat one and killed another and stoned another.
And those servants are the prophets, man. All right, because Israel hated authority. They hated the standard of Yahweh Shai Shai, man. They hate to hear the mouthpiece of Yahweh Shai Shai, man, just like today. They hate authority, man. So those servants that they killed and stoned, all right, was the prophets and the servants and the men of the Lord, man. You know, and Israel was known for that, man. You know, and to prove that, get Luke 11 and 50, bro.
Yeah.
Hold it.
Yeah, if I could just say in my bed, the certain household is Yahweh.
Yeah, the Most High.
Yeah, it's the
come.
Most High, my
Come.
bad. It's a lot.
Mhm.
Luke 7 and what?
Luke 11 and 50.
Luke 11 and 50. It says that the blood of all the prophets.
Started at 48, bro.
Alright. 11 and 48. It says, truly ye bear witness that ye allow the deeds of your fathers,
Come.
for they indeed kill them, and ye build their scepters.
Come, go ahead.
Therefore, I also said the wisdom of the Most High, I will send them prophets and apostles, and some of them they shall slay and persecute.
And that's what their prayer was going to. Those servants that Israel would persecute, man, the apostles and the prophets, man. You know, because what did they do to the apostles, all right, after Yahushua left, man? You know, they killed them, man, or had them put to death, man. You know, by the Roman government, some type of form of fashion, man. Because Israel hated authority and they was unbelieving, man. The most of our people, man, the majority, as you see the same, all right, thing going on today, man. All right, that's why they treat the apostles, all right, like they're not set up by Yahweh, by Shemal Shai, the elders, you know, the brothers out there preaching in truth and sincerity, man. That's why they have a doctrine said the Most High didn't have a son. You know, that's why they pushing it, because these were the same people that was killing the apostles and prophets, and the same people that delivered Yahushua up to be put to death, man. You know?
Ezekiel 2 and 3, and he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me even unto this very day.
And that's what we see to this very day, man. You know, they come from their lineage of their unbelieving seed, and Lord willing, we're those men, we come from their lineage of their believing seed, man. You know? You keep going on there.
All right, bro. Back in Matthew 21:34, and when the time of the fruit drew near, he sent his servants to the husbandman that they might receive the fruits of it.
Come.
And the husbandman took his servants and beat one, and killed another, and stoned another.
Come.
Verse 36, again, he sent other servants more than the first.
Continue sending prophets, man. The Most High was continually sending prophets to Israel, man. You know, what you had, Obadiah had to hide out 100 prophets during the time of Jezebel and Ahab. Yeah, come. You know, they had to hide prophets out, man, because Israel was just killing the prophets, man. You know, go ahead, bro.
All right, you want to get the precept, you want to keep reading.
You keep reading.
All right, back in Matthew 21 and 33, Salakia, and 34, 37. Matthew 21 and 37. But last of all, he sent unto them his son, saying, they will reverence my son.
And that son is Yahushua. And he's speaking of Yahushua coming as himself, man. You see, because all the prophets that were before, you know, they will mistreat, or they will kill, they will stone. You know, so the Most High was like, I'm gonna send my only begotten son, man. You know, and he sent Yahushua 2,000 years ago, and the majority of our people rejected him, man. They didn't believe, man. You know, they would charge him with blasphemy. They were trying to throw him over the cliff for bringing out precepts, breaking down himself, man. You know? So same thing is happening today. Yahushua is not here, but the spirit of Yahushua is on his men, you know? And they despise the men, all right? The body of Yahushua. The men that's teaching the truth and sincerity, man. You know, the correct doctrine, man. You know?
But when the husbandmen saw the son, they said among themselves, this is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and let us seize on his inheritance.
And what you have, all right, is Jake, they want to be leaders over Israel, all right? They want Israel for themselves, man, you know? And that's what you see with a lot of these Israelite camps, these mega pastors. They want the nation to themselves, man, especially false pastors amongst Israel, man. All right, what did Nate call himself a king? He wants to X Yahushua out, and he wants to be, all right, he wants to inherit the nation of Israel, man. Because Israel is the Lord's inheritance, man. You know, and he gave the inheritance to his son Yahushua. So what they say, let's kill Yahushua, and we can have the inheritance, man.
I got you.
Go ahead.
I
Bro.
say this. He want to jump over King David.
No, I was gonna call it.
You know what I'm saying? He want to jump over King David too.
Yeah.
King David gonna be our king also.
Yeah, he want to jump over everybody. He want to exile all authority and put himself up. And you got other guys with that same Adam Abbott. They got their spirit. They want the nation to follow them. You know, they don't want the nation to follow Yahushua. All right, because that's why we push Yahushua, because we pushing the elect. We feeding the Israel with Yahushua, the true bread, man.
And if I could just add, it doesn't make sense for the Most High to start dealing with the apostles for 30 to 20 some years, and then just start dealing with some novices. That don't make no sense at all. And the scripture states that the Most High changes not. What's that? Malachi, 3 and 6, and also Hebrews 13. I want to say verse 8 or verse 10. And Yahushua is the same today as he was yesterday, man. So no way in the world are these entities gonna just leave the apostles who they've been dealing with for the past 30 years and start dealing with somebody for 2 years. It don't make sense.
They part of that generation of unbelief, man. You know, and they despise authority, man. Like the scriptures say, despising governments and dignity, man.
That's right.
You know, that's that generation, man.
Yeah, this is John 11 and 49. Or you gonna start at 40?
You start get to 47.
47. Yeah. John 11:47. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees in council and said, "What do we? For this man doeth many miracles."
They're talking about Yahushua, all right? The son that's just talking about in this parable, man. You know, because what it say? Let us kill him and let us seize his inheritance, man. And it's finna get into it, man. Go ahead, bro.
If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation.
Hey, he said the Romans gonna come take our place and our nation.
Yeah.
They had claimed Israel to themselves because tithes was getting paid to the Levites, you know, and them scribes and Pharisees, they were looked at as holier than thou, you know.
And that's why you have an idiot by the name of Nate that says any attack on the king's men is an attack on the king.
He think it's his nation, all right? That's the mindset of these guys, man. So, and there's a lot of Nate Juniors out there, man. You know, they be in that same spirit, man. That's why they get this big following and they can't take no correction, man.
Yeah.
You know, because they think that Israel is their nation, man. You know, and that spirit is finna be dealt with, man. All right, when the real king get back, we gonna see, man. You know.
Verse 49. And one of them named Caiaphas, being the high priest, that same year said unto them, "Ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. And this spake he not of himself, but being a high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahushua should die for the nation."
And that's what Yahushua did. He died for the nation, man. All right, to fulfill prophecy, to be their sacrifice, man. You know, but these wicked scribes and Pharisees, you know, and the wicked of our people that delivered the Lord to be put to death, all right, their sin, their blood is still upon them, man. Their sin is still upon their head, man. They have a charge of murdering, all right, the Messiah, man. That charge still sticks to their day, man, and that judgment gonna be meted out, man. You know, go ahead, bro.
All right, this Lamentations, the 3rd chapter. I'm started at like the 45th verse. It says, "Thou hast made us as his offscouring and refuse in the midst of the people." And this is Jeremiah talking about people how they came against him. It says, "All our enemies have opened their mouths against us. Fear and a snare is come upon us, desolation and destruction. My eye runneth down with rivers of water for the destruction of the daughter of my people. My eye trickleth down and sees it not without any intermission. To the Lord."
That's what you about to see right now. You know, because through the spirit, and this government shutdown, it can be the entry to Jacob's trouble, man. All right, and a lot of our people are going to mourn, man. Why? Because They mock the prophets. They mock the prophets first and foremost, and they're responsible for the blood of Yahushua, man.
That's right. Verse 50, till the Lord looked down and behold from heaven, my eye affected my heart because of all the daughters of my city. My enemies chase me sore like a bird without cause. You see that? Without cause.
Yeah.
They have cut off my life in the dungeon and cast a stone upon me.
Right. And what was Jeremiah doing? He was prophesying. All right. He was doing what he was created to do. All right. To present the word of Yahweh Shem al-Shai. To prophesy how our nation was going to go down by the Babylonians. By the Babylonians, man.
Yeah, I have that account in Jeremiah, the 37th chapter, how they put him in the dungeon. And this is Jeremiah 37, and jump down to the point 15. Wherefore the princes were wroth with Jeremiah and smote him and put him in prison in the house of Jonathan the scribe, for they have made that the prison. When Jeremiah was entered into the dungeon and into the cabins, and Jeremiah had remained there many days. And this is the wicked king right here that put Jeremiah in, he was pretty much responsible for it. This is verse 17. And Zedekiah, the king, sent and took him out, and the king asked him secretly in his house and said, is there any word from the Lord? And Jeremiah said, there is for me, say he, that thou shalt be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto King Zedekiah, what have I offended against thee?
And then if I could say, they thought Jeremiah was prophesied, man. But Babylon was finna come into power, man. You know? Because he told this, I forgot what chapter it is, but it's one chapter where he told Jeremiah to hand shackles to all the nations around about. Because Babylon finna put everybody in captivity in that region, man. You know? So they thought Jeremiah was a traitor, just like what they tell us, see, y'all hate y'all people. The Lord, all right, is finna do a slaughterhouse on Israel, man. That's what the prophecies say. What else we supposed to say, man? Let's get together, teach what you feel in your heart. No, man, we telling you what the Lord about to do, man.
That's right.
You know? And Israel hates the message of Yahweh Shem al-Shai.
Y'all teaching hate.
Yeah.
Y'all teaching hate.
That's right.
Jake is.
No, we teaching the good news.
Right. This the truth.
Yeah.
It sound like hate to you because you
Yeah.
just, you ain't get it.
Yeah. But part of the doctrine is hate.
Yeah.
But it's still good news
Come.
to the elect.
It's good news to some, to some, not to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That number, hope you in that number.
All right, this is back to Jeremiah 37:18. Moreover, Jeremiah said to King Zedekiah, what have I offended against thee, or against thy servants, or against this people, that ye have put me in prison? Where are now your prophets which prophesy unto you, saying, the king of Babylon shall not come against you, nor against the land?
False prophet, you know?
All right.
And that's like naming them. The chip is not the chip.
Yep, no Jacob trouble.
No Jacob's trouble.
You know?
Build your society within America's society.
All right, and just going back to the point, this Lamentations, the 3rd chapter, the 55th verse. I call upon thy name, O Yahweh Bashem al-Shai, out of the low dungeon. Thou hast heard my voice, hide not thy ear, and my breathing, and my cry. This is the curses he about to put on our people. He says, verse 58, O Lord, thou hast pleaded the causes of my soul, thou hast redeemed my life. O Lord, thou hast seen my wrong, judge thou my cause. Thou hast seen all their vengeance and all their imaginations against me. Thou hast heard their reproach, O Lord, and all their imaginations against me. The lips of those that rose up against me, and their device against me all the day. Behold, they're sitting down and they're rising up. I am their music. You go into the word music, goes to the entertainment, you know, amusement. Rather unto them a recompense, O Yahweh Bashem al-Shai, according to the work of their hands, give them sorrow or heart, thy curse unto them, persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of the Lord.
And that's what you see going on today, man. So you see our people in these low conditions, all right, in these neighborhoods with high violence and crimes and fatherless and drug infested. They go back to them curses, man. You know, and brothers come from that, man. You know, and the Lord performed a miracle and took us out of that. You know, brothers that come from different areas, man. You know, and took brothers out of it and brought us in the truth, man. You know, but at the end of the day, our people suffer what they suffer, all right, Because they got generations of having unbelief, of being wicked and being rebellious, man. You know? Let me get that.
What did you want?
Uh,
Oh, okay.
2 Chronicles 36 and 15.
Alright. Get that phone. 2 Chronicles 36, 15. I got you.
So like you said, 2 Chronicles.
36 and 15.
All right,
You know?
Second Chronicles 36 and 15. And the Lord power of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place.
So the Lord has compassion. This is a work of love from the Lord, man. This is an act of love from Yahweh Shemam Shah. Raising up prophets and giving them the understanding to teach Israel, man.
Yep.
You see, but Israel doesn't look at it like that. Okay, what they say, we hate, you know, all this old crazy shit.
Yep.
You know, no, man, we telling you the truth, man. You know, because this is a serious matter, man.
Yep.
You know, and we telling you not the salvation. We telling you the thing you should do to live, man. You know, so you can be hid from these times, man. All right, how you should be building up your spiritual foundation on the rock of your house, shot.
Yep.
You know, and ain't like we just telling you all bad news, man. We telling you the good news as well, man. But you gotta adhere, all right, and humble yourself down to the standard that's being lifted up through the scriptures, man. You know, but Israel don't want to do that. You know, they want to live their best life in America, man. You know, but that's when it comes to a screeching halt, man. You know, go ahead, bro.
Alright. Alright, back in 2 Chronicles 36 and 16. It says, but they mocked the messengers of the Most High and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people till there was no remedy.
And we finna come into that time now, man.
Yep.
Because back in times past, he will allow nations to take over Israel and take them into captivity, man. But this time it's just finna be the slaughterhouse, man. All right, and the prophets gonna get the win this time, man. Ain't gonna be no more having your way with the men of the Lord. All right, as in times past, man. The prophet's gonna win, and ultimately Yahweh Shai gonna get the victory, man. All right, he's not coming back to be sacrificed again, man. He already did that. He coming back this time as that conquering Lion of Judah, man. You know, not that lamb for sacrifice, man. You know, get this St. John 19 started 8.
John 19.
You had something, bro? Bring it up, bro. You can break over.
This is John 19 and 8. And when Pilate therefore heard that saying, he was the more afraid. And went again into the judgment hall and said unto Yahushua, whence art thou?
Matter of fact, start at 7, bro.
Alright. This is John 19 and 7. The Jews answered him, we have
Start at 6 a lot.
no problem, bro. No problem. John 19 and 6. When the chief priests, therefore, and officers saw him, they cried out, saying, crucify him, crucify him.
All right, and that's what our people were saying. It was Israelites saying this, man, to the Messiah, man. You know, and this same generation is back here today, man. You know, go ahead, bro.
I got a quick one.
Go ahead.
Hey, this is Jeremiah 17 and 1. The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron and with the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of their heart and upon the horns of your altars. And this is actually going into the crucifixion of Yahweh Shai, man. You know?
They said Judah, the southern kingdom, the Jews.
The Jews.
You know, go ahead, bro.
All right, back in John 19 and 6, it states, when the chief priests, therefore, and officers saw him, they cried out, saying, crucify him, crucify him. Pilate said unto them, take ye him and crucify him, for I find no fault in him.
All right, go ahead.
The Jews answered him, we have a law, and by our law he ought to die, because he made himself the son of the Most High.
And you see how Israel always had a dispute about Yahweh Shai being the son of the Most High. That was a big problem. So imagine now that he ain't here, man. He couldn't even prove to them that he was who he was when he was on earth, man. So how much more that he not here? He just have his men telling them, man.
God.
You know, it was set up for them not to believe, man, because the Lord is reserving them, man.
Yeah, and if I can add, and it's different now because, like you were saying, a beautiful point, that the Jews, they were saying, yo, your father is Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
But now, fast forward to 2,000 years later, what they're saying, okay, well, hey, he didn't have a physical father.
Yeah.
The Most High is his father.
Right.
You can't
Yeah.
please you niggas, man.
No flip. It flipped. It just flipped backward, but it's still the same.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
still the
Same
same.
nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7, the Jews answer him, we have a law, and by our law he ought to die, because he made himself the son of the Most High.
So you see how Pilate, you know, saying Yahushua was innocent, but what did you have? You know, you had wicked niggas. They were steady digging themselves falling in the pit.
Mhm.
You know, no, he got to die by our law.
Yeah,
You know, and the Lord was really killing two birds with one stone.
that's right.
You know, because he was condemning the wicked of our people, and he was also condemning, all right, Esau, man, because Esau had the power of death, and we're going to get into that, man. You know, go ahead, bro.
When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he was the more afraid, and he went again into the judgment hall and said unto Yahushua, whence art thou? But Yahushua gave him no answer.
Go ahead.
Then said Pilate unto him, speakest thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have power to crucify thee and have power to release thee?
And he condemned himself then, man.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Yeah.
So you have Esau being condemned for the blood of Yahushua, and you have the wicked of our people being condemned for the blood of Yahushua, man, for their murder, man. All right, both of them guilty, man. And Yahushua finna go deep into it. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 11, Yahushua answered, thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above.
Go ahead.
Therefore, he that delivered me unto thee have the greater sin.
And who delivered Yahushua to Pilate, man?
Mhm.
All right, Israelites, man. You know. So when we see our people down bad and they finna go through what they finna go through, man, don't be emotional, man. Cause they weren't emotional. As we were reading right here.
Mhm.
All right, there were Israelites slapping them, saying, "Prophesy who hit you, man."
Mhm.
You know, making mockery, man. You know. So when they go through what they finna go through now, you know, don't be emotional, man. You know, that's part of the plan, man. You know. Go ahead, bro.
This John 8,
Luke.
and we start 21. Then said Yahushua again to them, I go my way, and you should act, and you should seek me, and you should find, so you should die in your sin. Whether I go, you cannot come. Verse 22. Then said the Jews, will he kill himself? Because he said, whether I go, you cannot come. Then verse 23. Then he said to them,
I'll show you the word still.
Yeah,
verse 23, and he said to them, ye are from beneath, I'm from above, you are of this world, and I'm not of this world.
And that's what these Israelites saw. They reject Yahushua. They from beneath. All right, they looking at the right now. They looking at the following they got on YouTube right now. They looking at the money they getting. All right, off making merchandise of the Lord's house right now. You see, they don't think above, man, having rulership. All right, over these Edomites and the rest of these heathens, man. You know, that's an above way of thinking. They think below, man. All right, being comfortable in Esau's kingdom, man.
You had to wait on. You had to wait on it.
Yeah.
They don't want to wait. You know.
yeah. That's why you got Nate talking about building businesses in America.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your hunter, he was of the same mind frame, man. They want to build here. They don't want to wait, man. Because if you got to wait, you got to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
And this verse 24 is the point right here. And I said, therefore unto you, that you should die in your sins, because you believe not that I am. You should die in your sins, because you brought a point. They want to crucify Yahushua because he say he's the son, Yahushua's son, Yahweh's son. So they want to crucify him from saying it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he say, if you don't believe me, I'm the son, you're gonna die in your sins.
Yeah.
And that's how people feel today. Our people gonna die. Our people gonna die, and they're unfaithful because they don't believe in nothing.
And so, just to back you up, and they had, like, the Most High gave them the scrolls that prophesied Yahushua's coming, right? And then on top of that, they didn't even believe in the miracles Yahushua.
Yeah.
Well, Yahushua said, well, at least believe me for the miracle's sake.
You don't believe what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, believe what I did.
Yeah, believe what I did.
Since you gotta see shit, you gotta see with your eyes, right? You know what I'm saying? Though?
And they saw it. And they
Right,
still,
right.
And they call him Beelzebub.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah,
So he walked on water.
yeah,
He stopped the storms.
yeah.
You know, he fed the multitude.
Mhm.
He healed the blind.
Turn
water to
water
wine.
around.
Turned water to wine.
That's a nigga though.
You know?
You nigga like, man, hell no. He set that up. You know what I'm saying? You know how niggas is?
I got
Same niggas on the earth today. Walk around.
a real quick.
iPhone.
This is James 4:17. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth not, to him it is sin.
Mm-hmm. So you know to do good and do it not. You know, and our people know, especially you Israelites, you know you Israelites, you teachers, you niggas that call yourself teachers. Because that's really who the Lord was addressing, man. All right? Because you the ones that want Israel to yourself, man. You know to do good and you do not, man. It's a lot of stripes going to be given out, man.
Yeah.
To you leaders of Israel, man.
Yeah.
You know?
And just like when they had a chance to receive Yahushua, they wanted that criminal. Who was that? What was his name? Barnabas?
Barnabas.
Barnabas. Yeah. Yeah.
Barabbas.
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 Yeah, that's Barabbas.
Give us Barabbas.
Yeah, give us Barabbas. Give us Barabbas. Like so, y'all knew to do good. You know.
He's supposed to be the wickedest one out of all of them. Straight
Barabbas,
killer or whatever,
he
you
was a
know?
nigga, man.
Yeah.
They're like saying, give us see murder.
Mhm.
Right.
Cold black.
Yeah.
Right.
You got something?
Yeah, I got one. This Jeremiah 2:21. It said, "Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, holy and right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?"
That's what we see today, man.
Come.
All right, the majority of our people are degenerates, man. Look at especially the entertainers, the rappers, and then the people that emulate that. All right, they are degenerate, man. You know, this is a culture of degeneracy, man. Nothing can be produced from this generation, man. This has to be the generation of judgment, man. You know.
Cause Apostle Kai, you gotta call them GMO babies. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You niggas out of order, man.
Yeah.
They got like no type of morals, man. You just like, you know, we not there or nothing like that. But when we just coming up, you know, you have respect for like the
Yeah.
elderly and all
Yeah.
that, man. You see this younger generation nowadays, man. You know, they play the knockout game, you know, shit like that.
Right, they
You know?
hit old people, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, though. We couldn't, this shit wrong right now.
They cuss in front of old
Yeah,
people,
right.
You know, it's all of those types of shit.
Just like it's a situation down here, I think it's called Pike County. Yeah, and two nigga children, man, you know, they killed their mom. They she like 33 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Amber Pike County.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Over a cell phone.
yeah, kind
Because she
of.
took
Yeah.
a cell phone.
That was his county.
You know, that's the degenerate vine Israel has turned into.
Man,
You know, we had a law under our father and our mother.
right, right.
Yeah.
You know,
You got some?
Mm-hmm. That was it.
you get that Luke and we can wait on
I
that.
got
You got one.
Yeah, this Romans 3 and 3. For what if some did not believe? Should the unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect?
Mm-hmm. So we're not worried about who don't believe because the Lord reserved people for unbelief, just like He reserved the elect to believe, man. You know, and we understand that. And like the Apostle Tahar been saying, the famous words of Elder Our business, man. If you can't get it, we moving on, man. If a nigga can't get it, forget about it. Go ahead, bro.
God forbid, yea, that the Most High be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou might be justified in thy sin, and the mighty overcome that thou art judged.
So all these prophecy gonna come to pass, man. Nobody on earth believe it, man. They still gonna come to pass, cause that's the will of Yahweh by Shema outside, man. You know? Go ahead, bro.
We got Luke
Yeah,
11 and
you started at 47.
47.
Leave at the end with that. Shikasa here, one more.
Okay, yeah, bring it back.
Like, Jeremiah 7:25. Since the day that your fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt, to this day I have even sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, daily rising up early and sending them, yet they hearken not unto me, nor incline their ear, but hardened their neck. They did worse than their fathers.
So they hard their neck and did worse than their fathers, man. You know, because this is the most bugged out and wickedest generation Israel has ever produced, man. You know, go ahead, bro.
Verse 27. Therefore thou shalt speak all these words unto them, but they will not hearken to thee. Thou shalt also call unto them, but they will not answer thee. But thou shalt say unto them, this is a nation that obeyeth not the voice of Yahweh Bashem Shah thy power, nor receive it correction. Truth is perished and is cut off from their mouth. Cut off thy hair, O Jerusalem, and cast it away, and take up a lamentation on high places. For Yahweh Bashem Shah have rejected and forsaken the generation of his wrath.
The generation of his wrath, man. He has a generation that he has reserved for just so he can put the hammer down, man. You know, and we coming into that time where you finna lament and cut your hair, man, because that was a sign of mourning, all right, and being humble, man. A great humbling is coming to the nation of Israel, man. You tribes, man, all right, who have gotten carried away with yourself in the Western Hemisphere, man. You know, chiefly here in Babylon, America, man. You know, go ahead, bro.
All right.
You start back at 4 to 8.
All right, it's Luke 11:48. And it says, truly ye bear witness that ye allow the deeds of your fathers, for they indeed kill them and build their scriptures.
You build their sepulchres, man, which is the grave. So the Lord was letting them know, look, you want those prophet killers of old. You know, he was letting them know, man, indeed, you know, you allowed the deeds of your father, man. Now you know that you were the prophet, letting them know that they were the prophet killers, man. You know, go ahead, bro.
Therefore, I also said the wisdom of God, I will send them prophets and apostles, and some of them shall slay and persecute
Go ahead.
the blood of all the prophets, which was shed from the foundation of the world, may be required of this generation.
That generational wrath, man. The blood of the prophet is going to be required of this generation, man. All right? Including the blood of Yahweh, because he was a prophet as well. That prophet spoken of in Deuteronomy 18th chapter, man. 15th, man. You see? So that blood is going to be required at this generation, man. That generation of unbelief, man. You know? All right, well, with that, you know, we pray that you brothers and sisters was edified. Once again, we're going to give all praises to
Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakakodash.
You know, double honor to our apostles and elders, GM Mitchell, who will teach, will being great examples to us younger brothers. You know, and peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Shalom.